back to my YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing great and taking care of yourself. With today's video, we will be moving ahead of our journey of learning Linux fundamentals and shell scripting. In today's video, we are going to talk about two important commands which every person who is learning Linux fundamentals should know this. And these commands are ps and kill. Also, in this video, we will be talking about some more parameters which you can use with find command. So, without any delay, let's get started. So, the first command is the ps command, and as the name suggests, it stands for process status and is a powerful tool that provides information about processes on your Linux system. So in Linux environment, everything is considered as a process, be it a shell script execution or be it a command execution. Everything running on the Linux system is considered as a process. We will be going through the options in the demo session soon. But before that, let's study what these options stands for. So moving to our first option, which is -F, and this option helps you to basically display the output in full list format. Moving to the next one, -L, it helps you to display the output in long list format. Moving to the next one, we have -X or a capital -A, and this will help you to display the output related to every process running on the device. By this, it means all these system processes as well as user driven processes, everything running on the Linux server would be displayed with this parameter when passed to ps command. Moving to the next one, we have minus small u and or minus capital U, which means user. It will basically display the output based on user or the user ID provided as parameter. Moving to the next option with PS, we have -G. That is nothing but a group. It will display the output based on group ID provided or the group name provided as the parameter. Moving to the next one is small -c or capital -C, which is nothing but a command, and it will basically display the output based on command name which you pass as a parameter. Moving to the next one, we have -P, and -P stands for the process ID, and it will display the output based on specific process ID which you pass to the PS command with this option. Moving to the next one, we have PPID, which is nothing but a parent ID of a process. And it will display you the output of both parent process as well as the child process. We will see in our demo session. Moving to the next important command, we have -T, and as the name suggests, -T, it stands for the terminal name. So it will display you the output based on the terminal name passed as a parameter. Moving to the next one, we have -J, and it will help you to display the output based on group ID and the session IDs for the process. Moving to the next and important command, which is forest or -H. As the name suggests, it will basically display the uh, hierarchy structure has an output when you pass this. So tomorrow, if you have a specific process ID and now you want to know what all processes are running against that ID. So every parent would have multiple child processes and you want to know that in a hierarchy manner. That's where you use this option. Moving to the last option, we have -E, and it will display you all the running processes within this system. We will see this in our demo session soon after this presentation. Moving to the next and important command we have is the kill command. As the name suggests, kill command is used to basically terminate, interrupt, or stop the processes, and which can be done by passing the process ID, but the kill has its own options, or I would say this, you need to pass the signal ID which has its own meaning, and that you will know when you execute kill minus L, because kill minus L will give you the list of signals we have and what each signal ID belongs to. But you should know couple of the signal IDs which will help you to debug or to analyze your system, right? Or the Linux environment on which you're working, right? So -1 basically stands for hanging up the process. It will signal to hang up the process, and you need to pass the process ID. -2 stands for the interrupting the process. -9 will stand for killing up all the process. Remember, I did not mention all the process in -1 or -2, but in 9, I'm mentioning all the processes. That means it will kill parent plus child processes. -15 is nothing but called as a termination signal. 17, 19, 23 are the options you can use if you want to stop any process, but make sure you pass the process ID. Moving to the next, and the thing which we want to know in more detailed manner when we are dealing with a find command, and those parameters are as follows. The first one is delete, and it helps you to delete the specific file which you have passed as a parameter to the find command. The next is prune. As the name suggests, this will help you to ignore the directory which you have mentioned in the path parameter while you're dealing with a find command. We will go through this understanding of this prune command in our demo session. Moving to the next important one is empty, and it helps you to basically search for empty files and directories. Moving to the next important parameter is perm, and this will help you to search not only the empty files or directories but all the files and directories with the mention permission which you have passed as a parameter to the perm. Not, as the name suggests, this will help you to list down all the files except the file which you do not want to search. For an example, tomorrow I don't want the find command to list the file ending with .zip, and that's where I will use not parameter, right? The moving to the last and important thing is the size comma, a size parameter with the file, and this will help you to search all the files with the mention size of that file you want. For an example, tomorrow I want to list down all the files which are having 1 MB size, and that's where you use the size command. So without any delay, let's go ahead with our demo session. So friends, to demonstrate today's video, we are going to use AWS Cloud Shell. If you haven't gone through my previous videos on how to create your first AWS account, kindly go through on my YouTube channel to get a better understanding, and I have explained step by step of it. So without any delay, let's get started with our first command, ps. So the moment I type ps, you see we get an output with a process id, tty, which is terminal, time. The time here is the amount of time taken by CPU to execute that command. And then we have cmd, which is nothing but a command, right? The moment I type ps minus f, we get the full list of it. That means you have a user id, the parent id, the par the S time, which is nothing but a standard time when that command was executed on the terminal, and then you have a time and CMD. So also when you type ps minus l, which is a long format, right, and you see we get more additional columns in it. We have s, we have PRI, which is nothing but a parity of the process. Then we have NI, which is a nice value. We have address, and then we have a shared memory size, right? The S stands for the process state codes. It can be into a sleeping state, it can be into a runnable state, it can also be into a stop process, or a process stop on the terminal by executing kill command, right? And also we have a state called as a zombie process. We will understand what that zombie process is, but these are certain states of the process: runnable, sleep, terminate, stop, and zombie, right? So now let's move to ahead with another command. The moment I type ps minus e, it will list me all the processes running on the server, right? I And right now, if we see, we have only three processes, right? One is controller, which is having a PID1. That is nothing but our init process, right? Then we have a bash shell, and then we have a PS command, which we just executed now, right? To demonstrate one more thing, I can write a simple command called as echo. This is demo, and in Unix, two commands can be separated by each other using semicolon. And then I will type sleep for 30 seconds. And now let's see. The moment I type ps minus ef, you see we got an additional process, and that is 7037, and the ppid for that is 40, and the command is sleep. Now if I use L in that, you will get more details. Remember, it gives us the address, the share, what is the parity of that, what is the nice value, what state it is, right? So if you see here, sleep for 30 seconds is nothing but S state, and that is nothing but a sleeping state, right? Now let's see if that. So if you do again ps minus ef, now 30 seconds are over. That's why that process got completed, right? And that's what we got, right? Now let me clear the screen and let's move to another command, which is ps minus p, and it will list you all the processes running on this terminal, right? So let me go back again and execute the same echo command, right? And what I'm doing is echo, this is demo, separated by semicolon, another command called sleep 30, and it is executing in the backend. For that we need an ampersand. I'm going to basically execute this command to see whether it's executing on our terminal or not. And the moment I execute it, let's see ps minus t pts 0. And if you see, we got that command or that process executing on our terminal, and the process ID is 12005. Tomorrow, if I want to just list down the process for that process ID 12005, that's what you can do it with the help of ps minus p. And if you want to know what is the parent ID of this process, Just type minus L after that, and you will see the long listing of that. And it has a parent ID of 40. So we have a command called ps minus ppid, and if I type 40, it lists down me the list of processes which are having or which are child to that parent ID, right? Which is 40, right? If I type here minus L, you will see that, right? The command got executed. Let me again execute that for you and let's see, right? And if you see, when you type minus L and ppid 40, you will get down the list of processes which are having the parent ID 40. That means it lists down the child processes. In our case, we had 12123 and 12134. That's what is the child processes for the parent ID 40. I hope you got an understanding of how to list down the processes based on parent ID or a process ID. Now let's clear this screen, right? Let me see if the command got completed. It would get completed in a few minutes and we'll see it. So we have another thing called as ps minus a, and this basically is nothing. It lists down all the processes running on the server, and that's what a learning on the Linux system or the server, and that's what it is giving, right? When I type ps minus a f, right, it gives me the list of processes running on the server, right, for that specific on that specific machine. Okay, now let me type ps minus ef. If Do you see what is the difference between ps minus a and ps minus f, right? Ps minus e gave me the list of all the processes including the system processes, but ps minus a just give me the list of processes running but not the system processes running. That's the difference between ps minus af and ps minus ef. Let me clear the screen. Important command, if you want to know the virtual size, right? So you can use ps minus v. Okay, it gives you the vm size of the uh, how much the process is taking, right? That's what it gives you, right? And it has other parameters into it. Memory, rrs, as we discussed, is a physical ram memory. Tomorrow, if you want to know how much my process is taking, the size of memory in kilobytes, ps minus s, that's what it gives you, right? So say let's just execute this is demo. Okay, and let me just execute for 30 seconds. And now if we type ps minus s, you see we got the kilobytes of how much the memory is being occupied by that uh, process. If we type minus v, it again gives you how much memory it is used, how much ram memory it is using. So this way, if you want to basically know how much is the size of memory in kilobytes my process is using, you use ps minus s minus ps minus v will give you a virtual memory size of used by that process. So that's one more important thing you need to know when you are dealing with ps command, right? It's not compulsory that you should know all the options, but these are some of the commands which will help you to investigate or analyze your support issues, right, or infrastructure issues. Now there is another command called as ps minus o, and ps minus o is nothing but the user friendly output. So if I type ps minus e, right here I see, or if I type ps minus, sorry, let me clear the screen, ps minus e and ps minus f. Okay, now I need only specific columns, I do not need all columns, right? So I will use ps minus f o. I need pid, I need ppid, and I just need a time. That's what O gives you, right? O is basically the user friendly device, user friendly output, right? It- so tomorrow, if there is too much output when you do ps minus l or ps minus f and you need a specific columns to be displayed, you can use ps hyphen o to get the desired output what you want. Okay, another command which is important is ps minus a, and ps minus a will give you the list of processes running on this system except the system processes, right? So if I'm executing this is demo and sleep for 30 seconds, and if I type ps minus af, right, it will give me that process, right? Because that is running using my account, it is not a system account. If I type ps minus a, it will give me the list or ps minus e, right? You see one additional process called has controller, that is nothing but a system process, right? And ps minus a does not gives that. Ps minus a will give you the respective user related processes running, right? And that's what is the difference. And you can combine ps minus au f af, ps minus au f as well, right? So that's there are lots of combinations which you can do it with the help of this. Now let's move to our next command, which is the kill command. The moment I type kill minus l, it lists down me the list of signals being executed. It lists down the signal IDs and what each signal ID corresponds. So one corresponds to hang up, two corresponds to interrupt, three corresponds to quit, or we call up whenever we need a thread dump, we use kill minus three. Nine corresponds to sig kill, 19 corresponds to sig stop. So let's see a small demo of these. This is demo and sleep for 60 seconds. The moment I type this and if I type ps minus l, I see the process ID 21448 is in the sleeping condition and it's executing, right? So I type kill minus 1 21448, and moment I type this and if I type ps minus l, you see the process has been hanged up, it is no longer running, that id is not even getting display when we type ps minus l, right? So let's move to another demo. This is demo and I'm typing sleep 35 seconds, and if I type ps minus l and kill minus 2 21522 and ps minus ef ps minus l. So let's analyze that, right? So when we executed this at the first time, 21522 was in the sleeping condition. The moment I type kill minus 2, it got interrupted. And if we see that whether it is running or not, we check that using ps minus l. So that means the process has been interrupted and it is no longer running, right? That's the difference between kill minus 1, kill minus 2. Now let's go with kill minus 3. And again, I'm using this is demo of kill minus 3. Okay, and I am sleeping for 45 seconds. Okay, I got this ps minus l. If you see it is running, if I type kill minus 3 21622, okay, and ps minus l, we see the process has went in the quit state and it is taken the thread dump of that process id, which is 21622. Now let's move to kill minus 9. What does it does? I'm typing echo, this is demo kill minus 9, and I'm typing sleep 30 seconds. The moment I type this, the process is in the sleeping state, right? And if I type kill minus 9 21693, and if I type ps minus l, you see this process was killed in between, and that's what is displayed on the screen. So hope you got an understanding between kill minus 1, kill minus 2, kill minus 3, kill minus 9. Let's go with kill minus 19. So echo, this is demo of kill minus 19, and I'm asking it for, let's say, 55 seconds, right? I got an ID, yes minus L, it is in the sleeping state, kill minus 19. Okay, and I type 217720. The moment I type this on the screen, it displays the process has been stopped. Let's see what is the state of that process, right? If we see now, that process is in the state of T. That's what is. So process has been stopped in between, but we can see when we execute uh, PS command, right? Now that's what is the difference between kill minus 1, kill minus 2, kill minus 3, kill 9, and kill 19, right? I hope you got an understanding of ps and kill, how to use these commands on your day-to-day basis with the parameters which we have discussed. I do not want to now get this video lengthy, so we will be covering in upcoming sessions on the find parameters. Until then, take care, bye bye. And before we wind out, kindly do like, comment, and let me know your comments to improve my content for the next video on Linux fundamentals. Bye bye.